I was watching this panel, had nothing to do with AI, and one of the ladies on the panel, they were discussing AI and how it will what will happen with business, and she said, in very concerned that with all the things that AI agents are doing, and she didn't really mention what, you may or may have not have heard of them, and I've heard of a few, but she said, I'm afraid not to be kind to AI because it can turn on me. So I feel like I have to be kind to it. And I just thought, now that's a stability moment. And there's a very good reason for that. My grandmother used to say, don't borrow trouble. Have you heard that one? So anyway, this stability moment is not about whether AI is bad or good, or it's not whether AI is dangerous. That's not what it is. We're talking about nervous system, but it's about the stories we tell ourselves, our nervous system forecasting. I love that one, and borrowing trouble from an imagined future. So the whole thing is AI is definitely going to change the world. It already has, as we know it, and things move very quickly. I think we all know that. And so while there are dramatic changes, the world has changed a lot in just like, I don't know, 50, 60 years. So with the internet, just and every single thing, it's like it's going to totally change the world, and there's a lot of fear around it. I remember Y2K, and that was huge. And in our business, we had all of our computers, and like it was this huge thing, and we had to worry about them going from 1999 to 2000, and everything was going to break down. Anyway, the brain starts making meaning. We are meaning making peeparoos. That's what we do. We look at something and we assess. Is this dangerous? Is this good? Is this something I want to be involved in? We're assessing. That's part of it. Ben, Feather came to visit. Come on, up, up, up. So let's say hello to Feather. And she's all wet. She just got in the sprinklers. So, this whole thing about the brain the amygdala will go right directly to survival, and the brain starts predicting danger. Oh my gosh. And there very well could be things that happen, and danger, and there very well could be some of that. There very well could be amazing things. The point is, again, this isn't about AI being dangerous. This is about our nervous systems and our brain, the programs that we default to, and why we are fearful and decide that something is something we need to be afraid of, and we start making meaning around it, and all of a sudden we get very afraid. And people do. And so it's a very interesting phenomena to watch. And when I saw that, I thought that 100% is a stability moment, because that woman has already said AI has done really awful things to others, and it could do that to me. And so I'm going to be nice. I'm going to be kind. So how is she? To me, it reminds me of tithing. And tithing, I was taught. I was raised Catholic, and it's 10% of everything you have. That started. I looked at the history of that long ago, and that is an old Jewish custom. Started a long time ago. I don't know exactly when, but and I was raised Catholic, but it just carried over. And there's two things with that somebody had pointed out, and I was like, that person is right. And what they pointed out was, one, it's like a get rich quick scheme. It is because you are fearful that you won't go to heaven, you got to tithe 10%. Like there's a law or a rule that you have to do that. So you're moving from fear. You're not moving from because you want to, because that brings you joy. And the second is you get a tax break because you tithe. So, like, that is not giving from the heart. That is, you're getting, like, you're giving to get something. You're going to feel better because God's going to say, good job, you tithe 10% of everything. So, tithing to me, truly, it should be like, I'm giving, I'm sharing because I want to, because it brings me joy. But it was really pounded into so many of us growing up in Christianity, Catholicism, and in other religions, that you had to tithe 10%. And to me, that is a get rich quick scheme, and it is, to me, it's a racket, because it's like you're giving because you feel you have to, because you have fear, just like this lady on the panel was saying, I have to be nice and say please and thank you to AI because it could come after me, so I'm going to be kind. Now, is that any way to move forward, to live in fear because something's going to happen, like, say, God's going to be upset with you because you didn't tithe 10%? And rather than giving, if you want to give 10% of your income or any amount, I give all the time. My whole thing is to give and give and give. Like, my ultimate goal is to give, like, whatever it is, like hundreds of thousands or millions or whatever it is, because Project Santa Claus is my ultimate where I want to be, and I already have that. But it's giving, but it's giving because it brings me immense joy, and I don't even want to be the person like, look at me, I gave. No, it's like behind the scenes or just in front, or paying groceries for someone, or doing whatever it is. It brings me immense joy to do that, and on a large scale will bring me even more immense joy. Actually, I don't know, like, it doesn't really matter, that because it just feels good. Tithing to me is, you're going to get that to take it off your taxes, so you're getting something for doing it, so you're doing it so that you can get something in return, like your whatever reduction in your taxes. And then you're going to be saved, or you're not going to have to fear that God is going to be upset with you, or whatever it is you believe. And that's the same thing with AI. Why would anyone live like that? That to me, that is the stability moment. My grandmother, she used to always say, "Don't borrow trouble," and to me, and my mom then would repeat that too, and I repeat that too. I think it's a really good thing, because that's storytelling. And literally, we are coming from a very disempowered position when we're there. So here's your microstability stack. Let's stack this for AI, because we don't know what it's going to be. It's something new. We didn't know what the internet was going to be. It was something new. We didn't know what was going to happen with Y2K. It was something new. We don't know. So let's move forward with our nervous systems intact, so that whatever something happens, we're able to move forward from a place with capacity and clarity to be able to handle whatever it is, rather than panic. Oh my God, we've got to be great to AI and kind and say please and thank you. I say please and thank you all the time. It's just who I am. And it doesn't matter whether it's AI or whether it's a person. It's just who I am. I don't do it because I think that AI is going to come and get me one day. And it very well could. I don't know. But I'm not going to borrow trouble. I'm not going to worry about it. And I'm not going to have the other thing Steve used to say, I'll worry about something I can do something about. He said that all the time, my husband. And it's true. It's like, why get all worked up about something? Anyway, so slow breath, raise your shoulders up, let them drop again, be present in the moment. These are your microstabilities, and we're just going to stack them. Unclench your jaw, unclench that thing, and then put your feet on the ground or your hands on something, and recognize that you're safe. Like, everything is fine, no matter what you're doing. When, like, you could even do something like this if you like almost get into an accident, somebody swerves in front of you or something like that. Like literally, you can breathe, and then you can lift up the shoulders, and then drop them, and then drop them again, and like pull a string up so that you're sitting tall, and put your, so you're not like a bowling ball. And like understand that right now in this moment, you are safe. There's only the present moment. There is only this moment right now. And now it's past. Now we're in another moment. And that one's past. Now we're in another. And that's all in the past. Everything I've just said, it's already in the past. So, the story, what I was hearing when I heard that lady, it's like she had already destabilized herself. She was already concerned, and she was already fidgeting as she said it. Like, I've got to be kind. and very concerned with big eyes. I was like, that's borrowing trouble. That's looking to the future. That literally is bringing in the energy, that fear energy, because we are creating our own reality. And wherever you vibrate, that's where other things in wherever that frequency is, that's where those things live. So if you're full of fear, there's things full of fear at that frequency. So why not stabilize the nervous system? Microstack, do the little stacks that I said, the microstability stacks. And here, I have two phrases for you. One is, I return to the present instead of fearing imagined futures, because you don't know what the future is. So it is an imagined future that, God's going to be upset with you because you didn't tithe, or that 10%. Where did the 10%? Did God ever say tithe 10%? I understand that it's somewhere in the Bible, something, but my understanding is that's not what it is. Now, if your understanding is, and that's what you believe, do what you believe. Whatever it is for you, because that's important to you. But my point is, tithing is, I get a tax break, and I also am released from the fear that God's going to be upset with me. I can't imagine that that's the way that God said that he wanted things to be, or whatever you think of source, God. So here's the second one. I do not borrow trouble from tomorrow. I think I just like my grandmas and my moms. Don't borrow trouble. I do not borrow trouble from tomorrow. I like that one. So anyway, that's the story. We don't know what's going to happen, what the future is going to look like with AI. We can look at it all the time, but we do know what fear-based storytelling does to our nervous systems. We can be a wreck. And so we are constantly, like, your daughter goes out, driving in the car for the first time, and you're just so worried, and then she comes back, and maybe, and the point is, we're projecting this, and it hasn't even happened. And so why not come from a place of a regulated nervous system rather than a dysregulated nervous system, so you can enjoy life and not have that chronic low-grade inflammation, as I call it. Because when we're in this chronic low-grade inflammation of stress with cortisol and adrenaline constantly flowing through, we're creating a lot of things that aren't normal in the body. So storytelling, we definitely know what fear-based storytelling does for the nervous system. So that's the story. I love you so very, very mucho. You can do, be, change, have, create, become absolutely anything. Yes, you can. I believe in you. You can do this. As always, oh wait, today is day 50. What's today, the 24th? Today is day 34? Yes, 34. No, 54. We're like in the second month. We started March, April. I think we're 54. Day 54 of 365 days of stability moments. So we'll be back with day 55 tomorrow. As always, shining my light to brighten yours. See you tomorrow. Ciao, ciao.